Hey, what's going on? I'm doing a short video now to explain how to create like a viral type of content. You've probably seen them in social media where it's generated by an AI software of random topics. In this case, I'm gonna do it for a tourism brand for the state of Nayarit in Mexico. So I'm gonna show you the steps that I take in order to create this short series of videos and then collab them together to make like a 60-second clip. I'm gonna be trimming certain parts that are just repetitive, just to make it quicker. But I'll try to be as specific or detailed as possible. And obviously, you can apply this to any subject. Just consider your industry and also consider the purpose of the video. So let's begin. You go to ChatGPT, you'll use approximately 3 apps or 3 softwares, and then the social media channels where you're going to be posting them. The first one is going to be ChatGPT. The second one is going to be Flow by VEO3. You might have heard of this software before, but if not, you'll know a little bit about that project. It is a paid plan, so you will have to consider the expense as well. But just to experiment, you can do a basic plan, around $20 per month. So let's begin. First, we want to create the structure or the prompt layout that the AI will use to develop the takes, the shots. So in this case, it's a brand called Bienvenido Nayarit. It's Welcome to Nayarit. It also has this US or English speaking version, but we're going to focus on the Spanish versions. It's a little bit more, has a bigger audience. And what we want to do is lay out the prompt in a way that it's as specific as possible, so you get the perfect representation of your prompt to the video. I already have one made, but basically I'm gonna explain what it encompasses. So you will try to basically explain. You will create several storylines for a series of videos that will be used for VEO3. The focus of these create a mini series, especially what I'm telling you right now. You will create a development or each storyline. In order for you to make this easier for you, I'll let you read it as well. But basically, you're trying to explain the features of the video. Okay, and then the topic will be rendered as comedy, facts, history. Each video will have these elements. All you need now is lay out the elements, and then I specified it in approximately 5 sections, which is the first one, new topic is 0. And number 1, how many people will be on the shot. 2, people, features of the person, if it's going to be male, female, characteristics of the person, dress, uniform, angle of the camera shot as well. Where does the main person or people look at? That is important as well. Close, how close the subject will be to the camera. There's a close-up or zoom, you get the drill. 4, what is the mood of that person or people? Sad, happy, eager, reflective. And 5, the background. So you kind of you imagine yourself the picture of that video, which be used for content creation and then ads, marketing, and all that. Trying to create a consistent layout through all those series of videos. So for example, if you're going to do a video that's 1 minute, obviously try to make sure that the person that speaks is as close as possible, so it maintains the subject, which can be difficult to do. In this case, instead of making the 13 shots, which is around 1.5 minutes, we're gonna do 9. Let's do 8, just to make it under a minute. Under a minute, yeah, a minute will be good. Or we can do 9 just to keep it above 60 seconds. And then ask it any questions just to make sure it's laid out as best as as best as possible, right? Okay, perfect. And then you let it ride, and it's gonna answer you back. Perfect. I forgot to mention that there is a section where you have to create another conversation with ChatGPT in order for that ChatGPT to create you the dialogues separately from the prompt development of that AI. So it's just more focused on that single task instead of making it too general, too broad. That it starts losing its quality and development, if you can say that again. But you will ask it now, we're in the chat, and then you will ask it to create you a prompt for a particular topic, and you tell them the same thing. So it'll be around 63 seconds, 70 seconds, and we want to divide it in a series of 9 videos, 9 short videos. So the conversation is pretty dense. So okay, and they'll respond to you back on what do you want on those topics. And then you just respond to what you want. So you have to have a clearer understanding of the exact topic you want to, exact video you want to create. So perfect. And then you start with the theme. And then it gives you out the dialogues. In this case, since VEO3 speaks in English or understands the language in English, I have to tell them to translate it in English. So then the character on the second prompt will do the content creation, all the marketing in the Spanish language. Perfect. And then that's basically it. So you copy this prompt to the second style, which is this one right here. Perfect. Theme. Honestly, we'll go back to the same theme. Perfect. Okay, let's translate into English. So okay, let's translate everything in English. I forgot to do that. And then this is going to be the prompt for each particular 7 or 8 second clip. Okay, so then you go, first you copy this. Introduction, new topic, how many? Okay. You go to this is the Flow website. And this is where you begin to create the actual prompts under VEO3. So you go to new project, you write the name just for organization. Let's do videos. You could do it individually. Let's do the todos mágicos. Todos mágicos. Okay, you enter and then go here. How many? One person, features of 60-year-old man. Expression, camera angle, dialogue. And you add the dialogue. You can add specific adjectives like system with native hair. With a Radical Guayabera shirt and a palm hat. Traditional dialogue, and then you go to the second chat conversation. It's right here. This is the intro. And then you add, go back. You will say this in Spanish. Make sure he has to say this in Spanish, and then you put enter and consider the options of your prompt or the creation of the prompt. Since it has two outputs per prompt, you can do 1, 2, 3, or 4. The most important aspect is going to be the model. Right now it's VEO3, VEO2, VEO3, and VEO2 as well. VEO3 has fast is just quicker to produce, less resources to take, less points, that's what they call it, credits. And VEO2 might have in quality, but it doesn't have any audio, so it wouldn't be of much purpose. This audio is very important, and obviously VEO3 is quality is the best you can get, but it just takes a lot of credits. Instead of 20, it's 100. So consider that amount of credits that you have for the prompt development and how long it's going to take for you to try, experiment with different prompts to see if it's going to be consistent, and also what's the limit that you have on your plan. So experiment with a little bit of what you can with a small plan, but if you want to dedicate yourself fully, then spend a little bit more on a high credit prompt plan. So this is the prompt that I developed.
Bienvenidos a los pueblos mágicos de Nayarit, destinos llenos de historia, cultura y tradición. Bienvenidos a los pueblos.
Basically, that is it. And then you wanna, let's say you like that. I think it's pretty good, consistent. And switch to screen builder. Okay, I go to scene, and this is where you try to be as consistent with the framing of each video clip. I do have to say that it's there's a limit to how many clips you can have in a way that's consistent with the previous one before it starts losing the consistency of the character in the background. But 3 to 4 videos is maximum, as much as you can do without changing. These are just previous projects done. I'll explain to that later or in another video, but he's gonna be the main frame, and then you go back, you go here. Well, actually you go back to this one first, since we already did prompt 1. Perfect. Okay, magical town. You copy that. And then you go back here. Okay, relax. Then you add a dialogue. 2 asterisks. and you go back here to this dialog. You go to number 2, and you go back over here. You take this one off because I already have it. And let's see if it creates the same person, which is going to be the most complicated aspects. That's where you're going to be going back and forth, trying to adjust the prompt, but that's part of the work, right? Obviously, you get as you get better with the development of the prompts, then it's going to be more consistent, and obviously the software is going to keep improving. It's going to be more basically consistent, basically the same style of image. I've heard Midjourney is also a really good software for AI videos. It's a little bit more creative, not as consistent, but I might experiment with that platform or that software in the future. So then you wait. You wait for it to load. Okay, so it's loaded now, and you wanna
Sayulita Nayarit.
You wanna start back because you wanna imagine yourself as the VEO as well. So let's see.
Bienvenidos a los pueblos mágicos de Nayarit, destinos llenos de historia, cultura y tradición.
Sayulita, Nayarit, Mexico is the surfer's gem, famous for its bohemian vibe, perfect waves, and colorful streets.
There was an error I didn't fix, which, okay, as gonna see. Let me go back. The good thing is you can copy the previous dialogue or the prompt. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna post it here, and then I forgot to write that. He has to speak. Okay, then you go back to move this from the scene. Go to the scene builder, and then the frame. Eliminate this frame, use this one, and then you have to go back again and reload. So basically that's the back and forth of the video creation, but it's pretty straightforward. It's just now repetitive. It's a lot of the same steps, so that's why it could take a little bit of time to develop each video, because after this we are going to join them together separately, or get each individual video and then edit them on CapCut, and then that's where you can add all of them together, clip them, make them shorter, add a little bit of text, and obviously add the branding, just so it's a little bit more, how do you say it, specific to who developed it, and also the ratio of the video. You can modify that as well. So let's keep going. Let's
Bienvenidos a los pueblos mágicos de Nayarit, destinos llenos de historia, cultura y tradición.
Sayulita, Nayarit, México es la joya del surfista, famosa por su ambiente bohemio, olas perfectas y calles coloridas.
But it basically is, okay? So you go back. Well, you stay here on the screen builder. And you add this as a frame. Okay, and then you go back to number 3, prompt 3. And go back here. You got dialogue. Equal here. Second chat, and then dialogue, you copy that number 3, and then you add he has speak Spanish, and then that's it. Perfecto, ya se cargó, entonces vamos a poner el
Cultura y tradición.
Sayulita, Nayarit, México es la joya del surfista, famosa por su ambiente bohemio, olas perfectas y calles coloridas. Aquí encontrarás artesanías huicholes, comida deliciosa y un ambiente costero único.
Ok, está bien consistente. Ahora vamos a continuar, básicamente lo mismo. Okay, it gives you an option for text to frame, text to video, or frames to video. Let's do that. Let's see if it changes a little bit of the background, which it has to now. Just so it's consistent with the other location, which is Jala in Nayarit. Let's see what it makes. Okay, so then you wait. Just wait and wait. So you see, it completely changed the visual. So in this case, you eliminate the frame.
Comida deliciosa y un ambiente costero único.
Jala, rodeada de volcanes, es conocida por su arquitectura.
Nope. You eliminate this one. Eliminate this one. It's not the prompt that we're looking for. So we eliminate this when you delete it, and then you go back to the screen builder. You have to use no sé por qué, I don't know why this frame showed up, but it does not look bad. Sometimes there's still flaws with the system, but it still works sufficiently, for now. Let's see.
Y un ambiente costero único. Jala, rodeado de volcanes, es conocido por su arquitectura colonial y calles empedradas.
That is much better prompting. Use that as a frame. Okay, so then you go back, it's the same repetitive. This is when you start taking a little bit of a few scenes just to keep it consistent. Maybe one more scene, and then you go back to the scene builder.
Inspiran historia y tradición. Estos pueblos mágicos guardan la verdadera esencia de Nayarit: cultura, sabor y hospitalidad.
Jala.
Perfecto. Entonces, I think this is going to be the final setup. Now what we need to do is go back to the videos created and see which ones are.
Bienvenidos a los pueblos mágicos de Nayarit, destinos llenos de historia, cultura y tradición.
Sayulita, Nayarit, Mexico is the surfer's gem.
So hay que borrarlo. We need to eliminate this one because it speaks in English and it's not the point.
Sayulita, Nayarit, México es la joya del surfista. Jala, rodeado de volcanes. Aquí encontrarás artesanías huicholes, comida deliciosa y un ambiente costero único. Famosa por su ambiente bohemio, olas perfectas y calles coloridas. Sayulita
Okay, so you leave that away.
es conocido por su arquitectura colonial y calles empedradas. Jala, cada verano presume el maíz más grande del mundo, un orgullo agrícola de Nayarit. Cada verano, Compostela conserva templos antiguos y leyendas coloniales que te transportan en el tiempo. Compostela,
Excaltitán, Nayarit, México. La Venecia mexicana. Flota sobre canales que inspiran historia y tradición. Estos pueblos mágicos guardan la verdadera esencia de Nayarit: cultura, sabor y hospitalidad.
Okay, so we're gonna download this one. Make sure it's upscaled. Okay, so I finished editing or downloading the videos, created in VEO3, and now we're gonna go to CapCut to process them and make them into one single video. So you go back to video tutorial, you select all of them, you try to make it easier for your organization. Try to number them from 1 to 10, or in this case 2 to 8, just because of the tries that I've done. So let's get this started. Let me see if I got them all. And then you put them one by one. See.
Sayulita, Nayarit, México es la joya del surfista.
Okay, notice there's there's one of them missing. Let me check. Okay, so there was one missing. We're gonna put that first, since I have them numbered from 1 to 8. So let's see. What we're gonna focus on right now, just to make it simple, is to change the ratio, since we want to do them in a TikTok style of content. If you notice, it crops the video ratio, so we're gonna expand it a little bit. We're gonna eliminate this one. Let me see, eliminate this, expand it to a point, and consider the scale that we have. Maybe it will do a little bit less. 170, it's okay. And then just make sure it's centered. And that's gonna be our scale. 170 in position minus 190. Keep that as a standard for all of the videos coming up. So then you just go one by one, or you can go
Jala,
select all of them, and then you'll have them all together. Now you want to consider, since it's going to change, you want to make sure all of them over here are in the same scale and the same position. So it's 178, 71 minus 70, 180. Just verify. Perfect, that's done. And add some text. Basic is best, so let's do it like let's see. Basically the topic of the video in itself. Make it as simple as you can. We're gonna make it black because we're going to add some background as well, and this is going to be white, so it gives a little bit of contrast. And then we're just gonna change the height a little bit and the width to make it as close to as a Facebook caption. This is gonna be present on the whole video, so keep it to the end. And
Bien,
you can add some animation,
bien,
short zoom, fade, and then at the end fade out. Basically that is it. And then you're gonna add a logo. So you're gonna go to download a logo. Try to make sure it's transparent so you can add it to the whole clip without interfering with the video. The position depends on where you want to put it, but put it in a place where it's visible and doesn't take away from the video in itself. So let's extend this, add a little bit of animation as well, fade in, fade
bien.
out, so it goes along with the clip.
Bienvenidos a los pueblos mágicos de Nayarit, destinos llenos de historia, cultura y tradición.
Sayulita, Nayarit, México es la joya del surf.
And then you just make sure that the trims are as short as possible. So that right there is, you need to trim a little bit.
Cultura y tradición.
Sayulita, Nayarit, México es la joya del surfista, famosa por su ambiente bohemio, olas perfectas y calles coloridas. Aquí en
You see the small mistake, so you trim that too.
calles coloridas, aquí encontrarás
Well, not that much because you don't finish speaking.
coloridas, aquí encontrarás artesanías huicholes, comida deliciosa y un ambiente costero único. Jala,
Trim a little bit back.
jala, jala,
You can add a small animation, a transition, between these two, since it's gonna change completely. Let's do a small fade mix.
jala,
Mix is okay. Let's see. Duplicate, okay.
jala, rodeado de único. Jala, rodeado de volcanes, único. Jala, rodeado de volcanes, es conocido por su arquitectura
On this one, you wanna
colonial y calles empedradas. Cada vez
so right there you need to trim it down because it jumps back to this one. Just right here,
cada verano,
and then it's
Hadas.
seamless.
cada verano presume el maíz más grande del mundo, un orgullo agrícola de Nayarit. Com-
You can, and I like that shot, so we're gonna extract the audio. just because I don't want it to sing.
Nayarit. Compostela.
You can have another transition, just a mix.
Compostela. Nayarit. Compostela conserva templos antiguos y leyendas coloniales que te transportan en el tiempo.
Excaltitán, Nayarit. Excaltitán, Nayarit.
You can trim it very slightly.
Excaltitán. Excaltitán, Nayarit.
Tiempo.
Excaltitán, Nayarit.
You can transition it too.
Excaltitán, Nayarit, México. La Venecia mexicana. Flota sobre canales que inspiran historia y tradición. Estos
Just basically trim it to make sure that it's as seamless as possible, because the AI editor or the VEO3 isn't 100% perfect,
Estos
but then from here you just trim this. And that's good because when you post it, it's gonna trim a bit of the outline of this video, so take that into consideration as well. And basically that is it. Now you just put a name. Let's do just remember the name of it, depend on your video, but let's extract. Perfect. Select the correct file, and you don't need to do it in 60. It doesn't consider that FPS, but you can do a little bit of a 2K just to make sure it's as same as quality or the same quality as when you made them, and it doesn't lose any quality of video. That's basically it. Then you export it. It's pretty quick, pretty light, and all that you have to do now is basically post it on your social media. There are more levels to it. It can get very more complicated if you want to make like a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, or 5 minute video. But basically, if you know the layout of the prompts, the layout of how you want to make sure that the video turns out consistent or not, depending on what the objective is of the video that you want to make, and then just trial and error to make sure that it's as best as you can. Obviously, AI is going to keep improving. The software is going to get much better, and you can also try on different softwares like what's the other one? Midjourney is another great AI video creator. I might do another tutorial regarding that, but hopefully you got a basic gist. And obviously, if you got another or want to be more specific on your business, on your type of video that you want to create, and you have questions, you can send me a message, send me an email through any social media platform that you're watching this from, and let me know what you think and start creating some ideas for sure. So until the next chat.